What's going on, everybody? It's Cam back again with another film breakdown. Today we're going to be checking out the Detroit Lions and some of the things they did this postseason, some of my favorite plays from what they did. Before I dive into that, though, I do want to say a quick thank you to everybody for all the support in that Chiefs video that I put out, really all the videos that I put out since I've been back. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Love doing film breakdowns. Going to be a lot of those. If you're coming back to the channel, welcome back. Good to have you. If anybody has any ideas about stuff they would want to see, any football questions or players who they think did a great job, someone commented on Javon Hargrave the other day, go ahead and leave it in the comments. I would love to make a video on it. I'm just looking for things to break down, honestly, with film. And if people have questions, I would love to answer them. So with all that being said, let's dive into some Detroit Lions film. The Detroit Lions are one of my favorite teams in the NFL right now. They really are. They are so organically built to me, so grassroots. It's been just such a good job of Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes and how they've orchestrated that whole thing. And to me, they've built their team from the offensive line out. And as somebody who has done a lot of work with offensive line stuff, I appreciate that. I think it's the right way to build a football team, and they're reaping the success for it now. Now, what the Lions did a really good job of this year is taking advantage of the middle of the field. They did a really good job of putting defenders in a high-low situation, right? So where if they run a dig here and they have this post like they do on this play, you're putting your safety in a high-low, you're putting your backer in a high-low. There's just a lot going on, right? So with this play, they motion Amon-Ra 14 across the field, right? They're going to run Jameson Williams on a post. That's going to take the safety out of the equation. They're going to work him up on a wheel. That's going to take this corner out of the equation, right? Because this corner is going to float with that wheel. This safety has to respect that post from Jameson Williams. And then Jahmyr Gibbs is going to run a route out to the flat and then just shut down his route on a little curl. Now, the play with this, though, is this dig, this backside dig from Josh Reynolds. And the reason why I like it so much, right, like I said, take advantage of the middle of the field. Jared Goff's got his eyes over to the right here. He's probably reading Amon-Ra. Jameis Williams is working a clear out. Doesn't think he can get the ball there. Comes back to his second read, which is Josh Reynolds, right, across the middle of the field. 1st and 20. There's a huge first down. Okay, and so, again, they just do a good job of attacking the middle of the field, clearing space, and giving their athletes room to work. Now, their running game is probably my favorite in the NFL right now. I know the Niners have a lot of cool stuff. I know Kyle Shanahan has a lot of cool stuff, but the way the Lions are playing football up front is really, really impressive to watch. Now with this play right here, so when you look at it, it's 11 personnel, right? Because we have our tight end, we got our running back in the backfield. Obviously, the strength to this formation, how the Rams determine it and how the Lions would determine it is probably to the top. They run trap to the weak side, right? They run trap down here. What they end up doing with this is they combo right here with their guard and their tackle, working here up to the mic. 77, their center's just working back on this one tech. We're working back here. They're going to seal with their tight end, and then Sewell's going to come on this pull. What is impressive to me about this is the pull from Sewell's into the line of scrimmage is a really good job. Pull left, hit left. You don't want to pull and bend that thing because then this defender is going to get underneath and spill it. Good job pulling tight to the line of scrimmage. Really solid job from this combo right here, being able to branch off and hit that backer, right? We can see these two attached hip to hip there. Backer's going to come up and read this thing. We pop off, we're able to make contact, and then a really good job from Gibbs being able to keep that A gap and work into the end zone. The other little wrinkle I will say that I really, really like about this is the handoff, right? This same side handoff is really cool stuff. The reason why I love this is because a lot of times when backers see this back coming across face like this, across the formation, crossing the center, really is what they're looking for. A lot of times they will take that step over, and that's all you need, right? That's all you need as an offensive lineman in the NFL is you just need that half step for that backer to take, and then they're going to be able to make you wrong, make their back right like they do here, and pick up yardage. So this next play, 4th and 1, 2 reasons why I like this play a lot. Number one is the significance of this play call, right? Dan Campbell loves to go for it on 4th down. You have to execute on 4th down if that's going to be your MO. You absolutely have to. You have to be great on 4th down. What I like about this from the Lions' perspective is they line up in this bunch setting right here, but it's a detached bunch, right? So there's a couple of different ways that defenses play this. When they're inside the 5, inside the 10, and they're forced to play man, it's going to change things, right? So these guys are stacked like this because they're pretty much manned up, or they will exchange a little bit, but they just don't want to run into each other, right? That's why they're stacked. Sometimes you'll see it where they'll have a point man right here, and then they'll have a safety or a backer here in their corner outside. Everything they have a reason for everything, but they're stacked like this so they don't run into each other, right? So what I like about this play call is that everything looks like it's going vertical or towards the sidelines. You have nothing breaking into the middle of the field. How Ben Johnson runs this, though, is honestly, I think, Very brilliant of him. So he shuts this route down, boom, right there on that curl. My number 3 out here is going to work this like out into the end zone. And then Laporta, I believe, he's going to work upfield in between both of these guys. And again, this route looks like it's breaking to the sidelines, and then he curls it back to the middle of the end zone. Really good route, good ball from Jared Goff, and a huge touchdown for the Lions on 4th down. Things like that change the game, right? Things like that change momentum. They change the game. It's an important down to have, and it's one that you absolutely, you can't lose. You can't lose those downs. And you saw in the NFC Championship game, they did lose those downs, and ultimately that's why that came back to haunt them. So moving on to this Tampa Bay game, the divisional. This play is absolute art. I think people have shown this a lot before. So again, with that long trap that we saw in the first one, right? And every NFL team runs it. So it's not like the Lions are extremely unique from running this long trap. But this play, right, with Sewell being able to give like a what I would call a whiff on this, right? He's going to dip like he's coming into trap, just like that trap block, right, where he's coming in to kick this out. He wants this edge defender to think, okay, I'm going to get kicked out. I have to try and spill this thing. So he gives that quick flash way underneath, right, way underneath, and then Gibbs is able to work this thing out. Great block from Sewell at the second level, and if he doesn't get tripped up, that thing is probably going 70 because Gibbs can absolutely fly. But again, just the creativity and the athleticism. Great job from the offensive line blocking down and sealing everything else. But again, right, we talk about the action in the backfield, and this is some of the stuff that I really like about Ben Johnson. He's creative about this. He's creative about how he gets Jahmyr Gibbs the rock, right? Watch. Gibbs is going to work across this way and then back. This is kind of like a counter look for them. It's just like a misdirection handoff, really. But watch what it does to the backers, right? This is the biggest thing. As that ball is shown to the backers left, to the offense's right, they're going to flow that way. And that's going to put all of them off pace coming back across the field, right? It's an insane play from Lavonte David to be able to chase that thing down. Not every backer can do that. All right, now with this next play, the 2nd down and 8, again, like I said before, putting defenders in a situation where really no matter what they guess, it's going to be wrong. Along with that, just the personnel options, right? They have a tight end lined up out here, and this is great because defensively you'll see, okay, they have 12 personnel out there, 2 tight ends, 1 back. So you're going to try and match that defensively, right? You come out there with your match for 12 personnel. 12 personnel usually means it's a little bit heavier of a running game personnel, right? But you come out there, it's 2nd down and 8. You got your whatever your run personnel would be on the field, and they come out and they're in the gun, they're in 3-by-1. So it's a completely different look, and it kind of can put you at a disadvantage defensively. Now with this play, all that happens at the bottom of the screen, Amon-Ra's running your clear out now, and that's going to draw eyes. That's going to draw attention. You'll see here, I believe it's 45, Devin White. His eyes work immediately to Amon-Ra, and he's carrying him at depth, which creates a ton of space right in the middle of the field here. The second round's going to be a chip release right here. He's going to work down their tight end. He's going to chip, and then he's going to work on a curl right here. And then this dig in the middle of the field, bam, by their number 1. Now, what it does is, like I said, it puts these defenders, it puts him right here in a situation where he has to figure out, do I come down on this curl or do I continue to drop into coverage, right? And now if you can see, this is Amon-Ra and this is 45, that's Devin White. He's going to carry him at depth, and it's going to open this part of the field right here for the ball to their receiver who is lined up out at number 1, it's Laporta, right? Just again, really good job of stressing defenses, carrying something vertical, and then filling that in with a dig underneath it. This next series of plays, really this one and the next one, is something that the Lions have probably set up all season, but I noticed it in the wild card game against the Rams. All that happens here is you have not a levels concept, but like all outs, right? So your number 1's route, I think that he runs the deep route and then he runs a shallow route. It's just an easy way to pick up yardage, quick 3-step drop, get rid of the football. If defenders are playing off when they see that vertical release, they're going to back up as well. So you'll see the Lions bring this out again. Last play it was 2nd and 8. This is 2nd and 9. Watch how they set this thing up. So Laporta's going to work out upfield, right? He's going to, as he works out, he does a really good job of closing that space. This looks like he's going to break this thing out. It looks exactly like that last play, but he does a really good job of selling that thing on the out and then working this back into the middle of the field. Again, getting those man situations, setting things up, a week before, a week prior, and then going back to it in that same situation too, right? 2nd and 8 before, 2nd and 9. Big pickup of yardage, I should say, on that last. Now this next one against the Bucs, this is fun. They use this motion a ton. Again, like I said, with that like missile or that lead motion where they're going to motion him at full speed across the formation, and sometimes they'll run toss with it, or they'll run, you know, counter with it. They do a bunch of things, but with him being kind of the focal point. And this is something that we saw with Shanahan and the Niners, right? That high speed motion across with like a tight end, and really it kind of stems back to McVay. When you look at McVay's stuff from when the Rams were really popping off when he first got there, he was doing a lot of the same thing, and they still do it today, more receiver heavy now, but they'll motion guys back and forth across the field, and all they're trying to do is figure out what's the coverage, right? Now in this situation, they've started to take that motion and they started to work it more into the run game. So 3rd down and 1 run down. And the Lions have shown this a lot, where they'll motion in what I think it's called like a missile motion or a lead motion, whatever, and then they'll toss it to him in that situation. They're trying to run rock, pick up the first down. Now Ben Johnson has this dialed up. We're going to show that motion across. We're going to give him that toss look in the backfield, or that handoff, that poke. Just show the ball in the backfield. Have these backers come upfield like it's a run play. Great block, great sell from this tight end right here. He's going to block for 1,001, 1,002. Easy lob for a huge, is like a 30-yard gain. Love the creativity on it. Love the situational play calling all around. Smart play. Love everything about it from the Lions OC. So this was kind of like the cherry on top for everything. One block that I really want to point out is going to be this backside cutoff from Sewell, and that's why play is why you draft guys like that this high. So the Lions just have a really simple like off tackle play here, and then this is, if you watch like NFL football, you'll see this play from every team. Basically, they try and cut things off here. They're going to block out, and then they're going to lead on this guy, on whoever that like fill defender is, and then they're just trying to reach everything else underneath it, right? So they reach, trying to get to this backer. This combo's trying to get to this backer. This dude is leading up for whatever number that is, 23. The block and the cut really comes off of your backside tackle, right? So if you'll watch 58 on this play, this is a like heroic play. He's going to step down and cut off 90, right? And 90's plays with his hands first, right? Hands to the chest first. Sewell does a good job of chopping that down. Now he's just trying to maintain his balance. Sewell is now trying to box this thing out, right? Maintain this gap right here. Maintain that. Cut everything off, because we can cut up underneath it. He's going to be able to stick his hand out there, get a little bit of 9, and then it springs Jahmyr Gibbs for a touchdown. I mean, that is high-level offensive tackle play. That's why you draft guys 3 overall. I remember when the Lions drafted Sewell, and from what I recall, there weren't a ton of super happy fans, but you have to make picks like that because he's that athletic, he's that generational of a talent at that tackle spot, and he's a guy that you have to build around, right? You have to make picks like that because the guys like that set the culture. They set the tone for everybody else, and that's not just a pick for right now, but that's a pick for years in the future because you set the tone for that offensive line. Moving on to the NFC Championship game, a couple of plays that I really liked from this. Their first touchdown, I think this is just really creative, smart play calling, right? So, again, messing with the personnel, you got a tight end lined up out at your number 1 receiver spot, right? So, fun play call on this. First thing I want to point out is this motion in from 86. He's going to wheel back out. What I love about this from the Lions, though, is they really run power underneath on this thing, and right, and everything about this play is working up to the boundary. Frank Ragnow is going to be kind of the key on this. Him and him are going to be the 2 guys who really make this play. Obviously, we know the reverse action in the backfield, super cool. But what I want to talk about, that pull, right? This pull right here is going to force backers to come upfield. Got to see what's going on with it. As soon as they see pull, they're going to try and fill, unless they see an obvious pass situation, in which case they'll bail. Ragnow's working to fill for the puller, and then he's going to slide out into the open field and be able to get some like key blocks on this, right? There. That is an absolute key block. It's not a lot. It's not a killer block. But you're able to wheel this guy out, create a lane for Jameson Williams to run. And we all know this cat's got burners. He's able to turn that into 6. Love the play call from Ben Johnson early. You know that defense is going to be ultra aggressive. They're pinning their ears back. They're trying to go. They're trying to make a statement. Love him taking advantage of that and obviously scoring a touchdown with a really smart play call. This next play, again, absolutely love it. So what do they do? They love to mess with their action in the backfield. So if we see Gibbs step off the bat, he takes that quick jab step to his left before it's a toss out to the right. Okay. All that's going to do is freeze backers, and it's going to give your offensive lineman a little bit of a chance to get out and help out with this thing. Now, the other 2 people that I want to point out is your tight end right here. I believe that's Sam Laporta, and then this right guard, number 60. I don't know. I think it's Graham Glasgow. I'm not entirely sure, but whoever that is, phenomenal job on this thing because he's able to get up to the second level. He's really the block that springs us for a touchdown. Now Laporta's working out into the flat. He does a really good job of blocking out a second level. This corner's going to come to Phil, and anytime the corner has to come to Phil, he has to take the sideline, right? So he's working him out right there. Great job making one-man miss from Gibbs, and then the block from 60 right here. I think that is Graham Glasgow. Just a phenomenal job, right? So you work up to the second level. He knows Fred Warner's probably going to beat him to that point of attack because Fred Warner's a little bit faster than he is, but he has a good job staying on his backside, right? Stay on that back shoulder right there, because at some point he's going to cut back on this thing and he's going to make you right. Really good job in this situation, and Jahmyr Gibbs of finishing this thing. Last play that I wanted to break down, I love the situational play calling. 3rd down and 12, the Lions just run, it's not counter, they just pull 2. It's definitely, I don't want to call it counter because that's 100% not what it is. Almost like a buck sweep situation. You're just not pulling a play side guard. But what I love about this is the situational play calling. Niners are overloading the top of this, and this has to be something that they saw on film. They just really seal everything on this. Even Taylor Decker, he's working down seal, and they pull 2 around here. And Chase Young flies underneath this thing. As soon as he sees that down block, he's flying underneath it. Really good job from your first puller logging on this, right? As he works down and he's trying to seal that gap. Great. I'm going to take that upfield shoulder, and I'm just going to log this. That's what they call it. Sewell does a good job seeing that as well, working out and around that. He's an absolute... Look at him keep up with Jahmyr Gibbs. I mean, that's phenomenal. And then he throws down a block as well at the end of it. Sewell is just an absolute freak in nature. But with all that being said, guys, that is my breakdown for the Detroit Lions. Hopefully this thing doesn't end up being too long. I really appreciate the support from everybody. If you haven't, hit that subscribe button to the channel. That's all I got for you guys today, man. Hope you're enjoying the film breakdowns. I'll be back soon with some more. But until then, we'll see you guys next time.